All right, let's unpack this. Today, we're digging deep into some pretty wild adventure notes from a place called Dolmenwood.
Yeah, our mission really is to pull out the most intriguing nuggets, the coolest facts about this mysterious land, and, well, two really captivating adventures that happen there.
So if you've ever wondered about hidden worlds just sort of beyond the map or how strange shifting realities can totally mess with a group of, intrepid individuals, then this deep dive is definitely for you.
Absolutely. We'll be navigating through some geographical enigmas, really strange magical stuff, and some pretty high-stakes encounters, all while trying to figure out what's really going on beneath the surface.
So first things first, where is Dolmenwood? I mean, how do you even get there?
Well, the sources tell us it's tucked away in a distant corner of a country that used to be called Albion. It's supposed to be north of a place known as the Midderlands.
Okay, north of the Midderlands. But here's where it gets really interesting, right? The maps of Albion, they often don't match up with what regular people actually experience.
Exactly. That's the crux of it. Some folks will swear there's a sea separating Oldenwale and Emerald. Others are just as sure that, grinding ice bridges them.
So the geography itself is unstable.
It seems like it. Coastlines shift, rumors fly, things just seem to, change all the time, which raises a huge question, If the landscape itself is in flux, how do people even navigate? How do they define their world?
Right. It means planning must be less about fixed maps and more about, what? Intuition. Folklore.
I think so. An adaptive mindset, definitely. It challenges our whole idea of exploration and, frankly, security.
And it gets weirder. There are these strange tracks and paths that apparently appear and then vanish, but only on certain days.
Yes, and talk of a ferry road. It supposedly leads north beyond a place called Shrewsbury in the western Midderlands. They say trees and blossoms sort of subtly point the way.
Huh. And standing stones? Henges?
Also involved, apparently. But they're secrets, only known to magicians, the sources say.
So ultimately, Dolmenwood is somewhere north and a bit west, kind of tucked between Emerald, Oldenwale, and either countries of Albion.
Pretty much. And the best advice seems to be you just have to follow your nose to find it.
Which tells you it's not a place you just look up, is it?
Not at all. It's a place that seems to reveal itself, often on its own terms, through these subtle magical cues and shifting realities. It sets a very unique tone for any adventures happening there. Uncertainty is kind of the only constant.
So with that unpredictable backdrop, how do people navigate this? Let's follow this group of adventurers in the first story, the Pipes of Droomen Knoll.
Right. Let's meet the initial party. We've got Underknap Hungerslip, who's a woodgrue enchanter. Woodgrues are these forest-dwelling magic users good at influencing minds.
Okay.
Then there's Sidley Addercapper, a human bard. Shanklank, a human thief. And Mugwump Millmaster. He's a human squire.
Quite a mix. And where do we find them?
They're in Prigwort. It's one of Dolmenwood's largest settlements, apparently famous for its brewing. It's ruled by brewmasters, naturally, and protected by a lady theatress.
Prigwort sounds kind of charming, actually. Carved wooden cottages, brightly painted shields.
It does have that look, but, even in picturesque places, trouble tends to brew just beneath the surface.
And it doesn't take long for that to show up, does it?
No, not at all. Rumors are already swirling around Prigwort, people disappearing from the road the party just traveled on.
Ooh.
Yeah, and increased numbers of these nasty creatures called Crookhorns. They're a type of Breggle, sort of brutish, often misunderstood humanoids native to Dolmenwood.
Right. And wasn't there something else? A kidnapping.
That's right. Lady Harrowmore's young daughter has been abducted. And worse, the search parties sent after her have also gone missing. Things are tense.
So the party settles into the Clashed Antler Inn.
Chosen over the less savory festering badger, apparently.
Good choice, probably. Inside, Sidley the Bard and Underknap try to perform.
Yeah, they try to entertain, but completely bombs. Sidley figures out later it's because somehow his singing let him hear the voices of the dead.
Whoa. Okay, that's creepy.
Very. And they also run into this group of loud locals, Ostash's Prigwort bounders, who are really prejudiced against all Breggles. So you immediately see these social tensions, too.
It really paints a picture, doesn't it? Missing people, ghosts, prejudice. It's all there from the start.
Exactly. It shows Prigwort isn't safe, and the party's already neck deep in the local problems and weirdness.
So the next day is a feast day, St. Hill Days.
Yeah.
Mugwump the Squire has business.
He does. He meets the vicar of Prigwort about his inheritance. Turns out it's a ruined house and a family tomb left by a Lord Baginhand who mysteriously vanished.
Adds to the theme, right?
Well, definitely. And the vicar needs their help, too.
Yes. A woodcutter's son, a teenager named Arda, is missing. He's been going out at night repeatedly to this knoll nearby because he hears pipes playing.
Drawn by music. That sounds ominous. Very much so. The parents are desperate. They give the party a hand-drawn map and 50 gold pieces, which is a decent amount.
And because the knoll has this bad reputation, fairies and crookhorns.
Right. The father gives them something specific. 2 cold iron short swords. Dark gray, hundreds of years old with animal motifs, cold iron being key against fairies.
A very telling gift. And Mugwump gets something too.
After praying, he feels this new power surge. It's the ability to command someone to just freeze, stay immobile, the hold person spell, essentially.
Useful. While this is happening, the others are at the market.
Yeah, browsing. They find various fungi healing, vision-inducing cures, but the prices are sky high. They also overhear a local song, a ballad about a knight slaying a worm. Just a bit of local color.
Okay, so armed with swords, a map, and a new spell, they head off towards Droomen Knoll, through a dense forest.
East of Prigwort, yeah. On the way, they meet some peddlers who point them towards a place called the bakery.
The bakery, in the middle of the forest.
Apparently, an older girl there tells them the knoll they're heading to, Droomen Knoll, used to be a fairy lord's fortress. And importantly, this lord wasn't on friendly terms with someone called the Cold Prince.
Oh, lore drop. That feels important.
It really does. It hints at old conflicts. As they get closer, they find this ancient stone arch covered in ivy with elven carvings.
Elven carvings.
Underknap and Sidley start trying to figure them out. They depict a regal figure who they later identify as Prince Mallowheart. And as they're doing this,
Let me guess, something weird happens.
the weather dramatically shifts. It goes from warm summer to distinctly wintry, just like that.
Wow. The land itself is reacting.
Seems like it. Then Mugwump and Underknap follow some cloven hoofprints Crookhorns again, and they hear this haunting music. They spot a rundown white tower, hear drums, and some really off-key singing. It's all very atmospheric and unsettling.
So they arrive at Droomen Knoll proper. What do they find?
A ruined keep, basically. Just one lone white tower still standing, and it's heavily carved with wintry scenes.
Matching the weather change.
Exactly. And the sounds continue. Eerie pipe music, loud drumming, harsh singing mixed with mockery and laughter. It sounds like a grim party.
And when the pipe music plays,
They get these flashes, glimpses of the keep's past glory. More towers, bright white stone, elves hunting. Like echoes in time.
that's incredibly eerie. Triggered by the music?
Likely, yeah. So they scout around. They spot 4 Crookhorns by a campfire and 1 lookout up on the tower.
Time for a plan.
A meticulous one. They decide to take out the lookout first. Sidley uses his bardic music to try and stun the Crookhorn.
And shank the thief.
Moves in for the kill with his dagger. It works. Lookout down, but...
Always a butt in Dolmenwood, isn't there?
Pretty much. A pustule on the dead Crookhorn bursts, spraying this horrible yellow liquid right into Shank's eye.
Gross.
Instant burning, itching, and it only gets worse. A nasty, immediate consequence.
Oh, okay, so lookout dealt with, eye injury acquired. What next?
They find a hole in some stone blocks. It leads down into cellars beneath the keep.
Down they go.
Inside, they find a body. Looks like a long-dead Droon, one of those ancient magic users whose stuff tends to be dangerous.
Loot?
Yep. A scroll case, an orange crystal in a leather pouch, and a Drunic ring and head torque, both with owl motifs.
Drunic items? Could be powerful, could be cursed.
Always the risk. They hear scraping sounds from the west, so they decide to take a door to the south instead.
And there's a party change here.
Right. Underknap and Sidley head back outside to keep watch on the other Crookhorns, and 2 new faces join the group down below.
Who are they?
Seago Two Roots, who's a Bregel friar, brings a different, maybe more spiritual perspective, and Trick of the Light, usually called Trixie, and Elf Mage, more arcane firepower.
Interesting swap. Keeps things fresh.
Huh.
So the south door.
It's covered in carvings of tree branches, clad in icicles. Very frosty theme, continuing. It opens into a white stone chamber,
What's in there?
a long table, overturned, and 6 arched alcoves. Each one has a faded cloth mural showing frost elves with an inscription below.
Frost elves. Ties into the Cold Prince hint, maybe?
Almost certainly, and the murals are weird. They subtly shift as the party looks at them.
Okay, who do they depict?
Prince Seven Past Noon, who they figure out is Prince Mallowheart from the archway carving. He's described as a powerful, estranged frost elf noble.
Strange.
Then there's Lady Silver, so mirrored, playing a harp. Sir Dawn Neverblooms, a knight in frosty armor. Lord Slumberbone, a portly nobleman. Whisper of Candlelight, a woman with a sword and shield.
Standard fantasy court types, almost.
Kind of, but the last one is different. Famine Whistles Wither. He's slender thistledown hair, playing a silver fruit. And he has these blood-red hounds with him.
Blood-red hounds. Okay.
And his mural is more vibrant than the others. And it seems to show concern, like he's worried about something. Very suggestive. The whole room has this faint, frosty sheen over everything.
Reinforces that cold, fey magic vibe. Where do they go from here?
They enter a corridor to the west. There's a sundial on a plinth to the north, and they can still hear that pipe music, now coming from the south.
Sundial. Indoors. Weird.
Definitely. They check out an adjacent room first. It's full of stacked, smashed crates, and there's a ring of burning candles giving off this acrid orange smoke.
Sounds like some kind of ritual.
Looks like it. Crouched inside the candle ring is a demonic-looking crookhorn just swaying, clearly affected by the smoke, like it's in a psychedelic haze.
And Arda. Is he there?
He is, sprawled in a corner, bound tightly. It's gotta be him.
Okay, rescue time. How do they handle the zoned-out crookhorn?
Swiftly. Coordinated attack. Shank gets a backstab in, Mugwump uses his new hold person ability,
Nice.
and Trixie finishes it with an arrow. Crookhorn down.
Good teamwork.
They blow out the candles, cut Arda free. He's basically Snown, just muttering about the pipes.
Poor kid. Did the crookhorn have anything?
A key, which luckily disarms a trap on a big wooden chest nearby.
Treasure. What's inside?
2 sacks of coins, silver and gold, quite a bit. 2 very nice amber-studded gold bracelets, worth a lot. And a partial note.
A note. What's it say?
Seago, the friar, translates it. It mentions an attack planned for Swinney Tower on the 24th of Igwild, and contacting a constable named R.B.
Swinney Tower. R.E. That's a solid lead for later.
Definitely. So they decide to hide the dead crookhorn body in one of the empty crates as they're moving it.
Oh no, don't tell me.
Yep. Another pustule pops, splashes yellow liquid right into Mugwump's eye.
He gets it too. Same as Shank.
Same instant burning and itching. This stuff is nasty. But as Mugwump recoils, he notices something behind the crate. A slight difference in the stonework.
A hidden door.
Looks like it. They find a hidden doorway.
What's behind door number 3?
A room with a high, vaulted ceiling. And it's strangely cold inside, like actual snowflakes are drifting down indoors.
Snowflakes indoors. Okay, definitely magic.
In the center is a circular pool and a stone basin. The rim is carved with stag skulls, and the pool itself is filled with frozen water.
Frozen solid. But there's something in it.
A glimmering light deep within the ice. As they watch, it coalesces into a silver chalice. Trixie recognizes it as fairy silver.
Fairy silver chalice. Frozen 5 feet down in ice. How do they get it?
It's bitingly cold. They try to break the ice, but it just fails. It instantly reforms. Magic ice.
And there are murals here too.
Faded ones, yeah.
Yeah.
They show humans bleeding into a pool and then being led away by frost elf captors.
Bleeding into the pool. Okay, Mugwump connects the dots.
He does. Recalling the murals, he pricks his finger and lets a drop of blood fall onto the ice.
Oi.
It sizzles right through, dissolves the surface layer, and seems to solidify the chalice, making it reachable maybe, but the water is still lethally cold.
So who's brave enough? Or foolish enough?
Shank steps up again. Seaguy casts a frost ward blessing on him first. Then Shank strips down and makes a second, very daring attempt.
Naked into the freezing magic water. Cutsy.
Extremely. Despite the intense cold, he manages to grab the chalice. He comes out steaming, literally.
Success. What about the liquid in the chalice?
It's weird. It doesn't spill no matter how they tilt it. And it's full of these constellations of sparkles that form an infinity symbol.
An infinity symbol. Seaguy recognizes this.
He does. He calls it liquid time. A potion that can speed the drinker up immensely, make them faster, react quicker.
Sounds amazing. What's the catch? There's always a catch.
The cost is aging. You use the speed. You burn through your own time faster.
Liquid time.
Yeah.
That's a powerful, dangerous concept. It fits Dolmen Wood perfectly, doesn't it? Huge power, huge cost.
Absolutely. It's not simple tool magic. It's a force with consequences.
Okay, so they have Arda, who's still kind of out of it, humming along to the pipe music they can still faintly hear.
Right. He's slowly recovering, but still pretty dazed. They decide they need to investigate where that music is coming from further east.
What do they find?
2 prison cells. In the second one, there's a man. Pale, thistledown hair, really long, claw-like fingernails. and he's playing a panpipe made of bone.
The source of the music.
Yeah.
Is it Thin Whistle from the mural?
It is. Famine whistles with her, though he initially just calls himself Thin Whistle. He's singing these disturbing little snippets about blood-red hounds and dead.
Creepy. What does he tell him?
He claims he's been locked up for hundreds of years, asks if Mallowheart has finally left, offers info about the pool treasure, maybe trying to bargain.
Why was he locked up?
He admits it. He killed and ate 2 of Prince Mallowheart's hounds. Those blood-red hounds from his mural, presumably.
Okay, definitely not a nice guy. Enemy of the elves.
He says so himself. He tries talking to Arda about fairy roads, these ancient real paths through the woods that allow super fast travel, but again, might mess with time.
Distortion seems to be a theme. And there's magic on his cell.
Yeah, when his fingers pass through the bars of the cell window, a blue magical shimmer appears. It's powerful magic holding him.
So they figure they have to let him out. Maybe he can help stop whatever's happening here.
That seems to be the thinking. He's eager, says they need to defeat the magic keeping him there. He mutters about Mallowheart's mercy and confirms that sundial they saw earlier is the key.
Back to the sundial, then. It had Mallowheart carvings.
Right. They figure it out. They need to cast a shadow on the dial at the position of 7 past noon. It's a play on Prince Mallowheart's full title, Prince 7 past noon.
Clever. Before they do that, though, they check out that western chamber where they heard scraping.
Yeah, the one with the alkali smell. They find a large, ragged, 2-headed bird chained up. It attacks them.
2 heads. Nasty.
Trixie takes it down, though, puts an arrow clean through both heads at once. Pretty heroic shot.
Nice shooting, Trixie. Okay, now the sundial.
Sia holds a torch over it, moving the flame slowly to create the shadow. After about 30 seconds, there's a click, and a blue light shimmers back at Thin Whistle's cell.
Freedom!
He leaks out immediately, urges them to leave quickly, confirms again that the chalice holds liquid time, and warns about the aging price.
Any parting messages?
Just one chilling detail. A frosty patch appears on a nearby wall, and words form in the frost. Eternal shall he rot.
Yikes. A curse from Mallowheart, maybe.
Seems likely. A final warning about the lingering power in this place.
So they sneak out, get back to the main road, and they meet Arda's parents.
Yes, but the parents look different, grander, dressed like knights. They thank the party profusely.
That's odd. Knightly parents?
It adds to the weirdness. And the final twist, when they get back to Prigwort, they discover it's market day again tomorrow.
Wait, wasn't it market day when they left?
It was the Feast of St. Heldace, the day after market day. But now tomorrow is market day again, which means...
They were gone for longer than they thought, maybe a whole week. Time distortion strikes again.
Exactly. It's not just a concept. It actively messes with their lives. You plan for a day trip, you lose a week. It perfectly shows how Dolmenwood's reality bends.
What a wild ride.
Yeah.
And that sets us up for the next adventure, doesn't it? Swinney Tower.
It does. This one starts just a couple of days later on Egg Fast, which is Sunday, the 21st of Igwild. Mugwump finally gets his grandfather's will.
The one who left him the ruined house and tomb.
Right. They go check out the inherited estate. Stables are okay, but the house is a total wreck. To find the family tomb mentioned in the will, they figure they might need to ask around, maybe at the woodcutter's camp, or an inn called the Marrowbold.
Yeah, Arda? How's he doing?
Still recovering. He vaguely remembers being led by elves towards the pipes, but his time inside the ruins, it's just a blur, another unsettling effect of that fairy magic.
So the next day, Monday the 22nd, Shank and Mugwump need to deal with their eye problem.
Yeah, that nasty yellow liquid. They go see Wormspittle the herbalist. He sounds like quite a character. Burgundy velvet smoking jacket works past a stinky chicken enclosure.
Classy. What's this diagnosis?
Shocking, actually. He calls it eye leprosy.
Eye leprosy, seriously.
That's the term used. He says it would progress clouding, blackening, eventually withering away. Horrible. But thankfully, he says there is a cure available.
Phew. That's a relief.
Yeah.
But it adds a really personal stake for them, doesn't it? A magical disease.
Definitely. So the party weighs their options now. Visit the local wizard, Musselmeyer Druge. Follow up on that note about the Swinney Tower attack. Or maybe explore the woods based on clues in Mugwump's grandfather's will.
What do they choose?
They decide to visit the wizard, Musselmeyer Druge. He's described as fat, upbeat, human, maybe in his 50s.
What was his place like?
Interesting. Coats of arms suggesting connections to Prigwort's brewing families, but also a creepy whispering servant who apparently has no face beneath his hood.
Okay, standard wizard eccentricity then.
Seems like it. The wizard enjoys hearing their story about Droomen Knoll. He looks at the Drunic ring and torque they found. Siga confirms they don't seem magical, just valuable objects. But that orange crystal,
The one in the pouch?
yeah, that glows with magic.
This-
Druge warns them about Droon artifacts being tricky and starts reading the Droon scroll they found. While he's doing that, a face literally appears in the wood grain of a shelf and pokes its tongue out at them.
Just casually.
Right. Siga casts Detect Magic again, confirming the orange crystal is definitely the source of the magical glow.
So someone has to touch it, right?
Shank does, and he gets hit with this horrible vision, a twitching stag skeleton coated in slime standing in a Stonehenge-like circle. And it intones, "Ill omens at the Wything Stones, winter cometh."
Wything stones. Winter cometh. That sounds bad.
Really bad. Mugwump touches it too and gets a weaker version of the same vision.
And Trixie the elf.
Just kind of flippantly suggests maybe the moon cycles affect the visions. Feels totally sure he's right, in that classic elven way.
Huh. But Mugwump remembers something important.
Yes. The Wything Stones were mentioned in his grandfather's will. Suddenly his personal quest and this dark magical omen are directly linked.
Everything connects in Dolmenwood. Do they keep the Drunic stuff?
No, they sell it to the wizard, get a decent amount of gold each.
Smart move, maybe. Less cursed stuff to carry. So what about the Swinney Tower note?
They take it to Captain Hogwash, the town guard captain. As they go, they feel like they're being followed, furtive figures in the shadows.
Never a good sign.
Yeah,
How does Hogwash react to the note?
he's angry. The only RB he knows is a constable named Roger Burrell, and guess where Roger Burrell is right now?
Let me guess. Swinney Tower.
Delivering supplies, yes. And Hogwash has heard reports that the guards at Swinney Tower are sick. Plus, a Stoatfolk corpse was found nearby. The note seems chillingly accurate.
Stoatfolk, like humanoid stoats.
Seems so. Another of Dolmenwood's varied inhabitants.
So Hogwash needs someone to check this out.
Urgently. He suspects it might be a ploy, maybe by the Crookhorns, to draw troops away from Prigwort. He calls the party stalwart heroes.
Laying them on thick.
A bit, yeah. He deputizes them, gives them uniforms, and a letter for Captain Hilda Harrimore, who turns out to be Lady Harrimore's sister, who's in charge at the tower. He urges them to investigate.
So Swinney Tower isn't far.
About 5 miles.
Yeah.
It's apparently in disrepair, but was recently reoccupied by Captain Hilda, 3 soldiers, and 5 acolytes. Not a huge garrison.
Okay, mission accepted. Off they go.
The next day is chilly, damp. Mugwump has a weird dream overnight, something about a beautiful elven lady, but he doesn't share the details.
Another mystery seed planted. What's the road like?
Unsettling. They notice these eye-like swirls in the bark of the trees along the road, like they're being watched. Classic Dolmenwood paranoia fuel.
Creepy. Do they find anything else?
About halfway there, they find cloven hoof tracks Crookhorns again. And soon after, 2 bodies. Murdered.
Oh no.
One looks like a guard, the other is described as a weaselly bipedal creature, both shot with arrows. And importantly, it looks like they were running towards Prigwort when they were killed.
So the danger at the tower is real and maybe trying to escape.
Exactly. It ramps up the tension.
They finally reach Swinney Tower. What's the approach like?
A narrow path leads through a little valley, a dell, up to this sturdy-looking tower covered in ivy.
Who greets them?
An acolyte named Isabel. She lets them in when she sees Captain Hogwash's letter, but then leads them to a waiting room and bolts the door behind them. Total trap.
What did they find in the waiting room? Clues.
Subtle ones. Discarded uniforms, spilled milk, crumbs, and crucially, a small child's handprint. Something is definitely wrong inside.
Did they hear anything?
Trixie uses his elven ears. He overhears a hushed conversation in Woldish, the local tongue. A drawling male voice says something like, "That Harrimore bitch has locked herself in."
Okay, definitely hostile takeover vibes. They're not waiting around, Ron.
No way. They pick the lock. And Siga, the Bregel friar, arms himself with a ham shank.
A ham shank, seriously, that's amazing.
Isn't it? It's just so perfectly Dolmenwood. Resourceful, maybe a bit absurd, but practical.
Love it. What's the plan?
Trixie casts a silence glamour on himself and sneaks out. He immediately runs into a tall, thin man who looks noble, carrying a shimmering crystal.
The leader.
Maybe. They ambush and restrain him quickly.
What does he say?
He speaks Sylvan, the elf tongue, calls them barbarians, demands release, claims there's a terrible disease in the tower.
Disease. Or is that a lie?
He insults Siga, calls Mugwump poor. Then Siga has enough.
Ham shank time.
Ham shank time. Hits him with it, and the guy just crumples. Starts speaking Woldish now, claiming he's Roger.
Roger Burrell. The constable.
Seems like it. His crystal wand has Sylvan writing on it, Tamlin's Ardor. But under pressure, he cracks. Admits his real name is Ted Nightshade. He's just a common thief caught up in this once out.
So what's the real story?
Ted spills the beans. It's a con orchestrated by the real Roger Burrell. An attack by Crookhorns, who Roger made a deal with. Roger thinks there's gold hidden upstairs.
And the disease.
Poison food. But Captain Hilda must have had some resistance, realized what was happening, and locked herself and presumably the loyal guards away from Roger and his cronies.
How many are in Roger's group?
Ted says 4 of them, plus the Crookhorns, who are apparently digging their way in through the cellar via a trapdoor in the buttery.
They need to secure that trapdoor.
Siga lifts it, confirms there's a lined cellar below. Ted confirms the Crookhorns are down there digging.
Yeah.
So they spike the trapdoor shut. They can hear pickaxes hitting stone from below. Immediate threat contained for now.
What do they do with Ted?
Leave him tied up inside the front door and go investigate the main area of the tower.
What do they find?
They hear a loud, booming voice, see sick men and women lying on camp beds, and then they see the source of the voice.
What is it?
An ogre. 8 feet tall, slate-colored skin, muttering about being hungry.
An ogre. Ted failed to mention the ogre.
Convenient omission, right. So now they have an ogre problem. They lure it out strategically.
Big fight.
Fierce, yeah. Drawn out, too. Apparently a lot of attacks miss on both sides. But eventually, Mugwump lands the final blow.
Squire takes down the ogre. Nice.
Siegel identifies it officially as an ogre, and Mugwump is pretty pleased with himself. They definitely chew Ted out afterwards for not mentioning the giant monster in their group.
Fair enough. What are the Crookhorns?
They can hear thumping from the buttery again, still trying to get through the trapdoor.
Okay, threat still active. Where's Hilda? Upstairs.
They head upstairs, find Isabel, the acolyte who trapped them, and Roger Burrell himself peering through a doorway. They quickly bolt it when they see the party.
Cornered. Do they negotiate?
Yeah. The party promises to let them go if Roger hands over the antidote for the poison. He agrees, passes some herbs through the door. That's the antidote. Then he, Isabel, and Ted make a run for it.
They just let them go.
Mugwump sees them galloping away. I guess they figured getting the antidote was the priority. Siga immediately starts preparing it downstairs for the sick people. Shank and Trixie check the buttery Crookhorns, still digging, but not breaking through just yet.
Okay, antidote underway. Now they need to find Lady Hilda.
Right. Next floor up, there's a locked door. Mugwump and Trixie try to talk through it, convince whoever's inside they're friendly.
Does it work?
Something else happens first. A pair of disembodied cat's eyes appear in the air,
Just cat's eyes.
followed by a small elfin form. It's an apparition named Jilly Jumps at the Moon. Apparently he reflects the news he hears in his expressions. A friendly spirit, maybe?
Huh. Okay. What does Jilly do?
He zips downstairs to check on Siga, making the antidote, startling him, then zips back up. Then the locked door finally opens.
And behind it?
3 guards, looking wary, and Lady Hilda herself. Late 20s, black curly hair, blazing blue eyes, looks capable.
Relief. They all head downstairs.
Yep. Just as Siga finishes the antidote, they administer it to the poisoned victims who quickly fall into a peaceful, healing sleep.
Success. But they still need to alert Prigwort.
Right. Mugwump asks about signaling. Hilda sends a guard to get a ladder. They go up to the top floor through a trapdoor onto the battlements.
How do they signal?
There's a dovecote up there with a telescope. They use it to send a light signal towards Prigwort. After a tense wait, they see someone in Prigwort notice it and make a note. Signal received.
Help is on the way.
And eventually, Captain Hogwash arrives with reinforcements. He hears their whole story, secures the tower. Roger and his gang escaped. But Hogwash is still impressed, congratulates the party, hints he might have more uses for them in the future.
What about the Crookhorns?
Scouts find the tunnel they dug. Started from a spring on the far side of the tower, led into the cellar. That's how they got in, and presumably how they escaped.
And the poison victims?
Wormspittle, the herbalist, arrives and confirms they'll make a full recovery within hours thanks to the antidote.
Wow. So from navigating shifting realities and fairy roads to battling ogres with hamshanks and dealing with eye leprosy, that was quite the journey.
It really was. We went from Dolmen Wood's impossible geography right into the thick of it with that rescue at Swinney Tower. What really stands out to you from all this? Maybe how maps just don't cut it there, or how, I don't know, quick thinking and maybe a bit of luck can overcome monstrous threats.
For me, it's how deeply woven the magic is. It's not just spells. It's in the landscape, the time distortions, the weird creatures, those glowing crystals, the fairy roads. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And heroes. They really do come in all shapes, sizes, and levels of eye health.
Absolutely. Which leads to a pretty big question, doesn't it? In a world like Bowmanwood, where reality itself is so fluid, where secrets and dangers lie just under the surface of the ordinary, what else is out there? What other ancient roads or hidden fortresses or powerful artifacts might be waiting for someone curious or maybe just unlucky enough to stumble upon them?
Makes you wonder what other stories are unfolding right now in those weird woods.